small way stations, which haven't changed much since Britain. It is a single-line track off the main route to Madras, and only 4 trains a day stop here. Mr. Govindarajan is the station master. He took a demotion from a bigger station, choosing Pallur to be near his sick wife and to live out his days in the peaceful quiet of the country. He shares his responsibilities with Kamakshi, a railway widow, who is officially the sweeper porter. Between the two of them, they run the entire station. Pallur means milk village, and for the last 100 years the villagers have relied on the milk train to carry their cans to the city markets. But before the train arrives, Govindarajan must coordinate with other stations to make sure that his line is clear for the coming train. It is a time-honored system in place since the days of the British. A ball token must be carried by the driver, giving him the right-of-way on a single-line track. At every station, he must pass the token and pick up another. Only then will he have permission to continue on his way.
55, 63. Now, I am asking line clear. This is the authority. Token C17.
The line is officially open, and Kamakshi can change the signals that will indicate to the driver that the track ahead is safe. She will pass the ball on to the driver and prepares the cane pouch. She is one of the few women working directly with the trains, but gained her job after a great loss. Her husband had been a fireman on a steam engine and committed suicide when he didn't make driver. It is the railway's custom to give a position to the widow, and Kamakshi will have a job for life. As the train comes in, the ball token is handed over. Now the driver can move safely into the next section. Mr. Govindarajan has dedicated 33 years of his life to the railway. and understands better than anyone how much these trains mean to rural India. But changes are coming, and he has received word that with his retirement, his post will not be filled, and Pallur station will be closed. They tell him that with only a few trains a day, there just isn't enough profit. Soon, the trains won't be stopping here, and people will have to take the roads. He will be the last station master of Pallur. On the main trunk lines between big cities, the fast trains run non-stop. The Grand Trunk Express nears its destination. The journey to Madras is coming to an end, and the passengers who have spent 2 nights together ride in a world of their own. Before the train even stops, those who are wise to the system will start negotiating for coolies. For this is Madras, the largest city in the south, and the hassle of any big station is only just beginning.
Fine, very fine. We enjoyed the trip.
Arrivals usually mean hello, but in India they often mean goodbye. And those who were strangers only a few days ago are now departing as good friends.
The coolie is just coming because he has gone there to bring the trolley for me to pick up the luggage. As a matter of fact, in Western countries, you don't depend on the coolies at all because you yourself carry all your baggages. But here we have number of people. The population is increased every day, so we have to engage them also, but in one way or the other, so just to give the money so that he can live comfortably.
The journey is over, the baggage problem solved, and now one of the hardest parts of the trip is coming up, the search for an honest taxi driver.
The problem is that we don't get because according to the meter they won't take these people. And now you know, when that chap was increasing, he was demanding more than the tariff rate. Another young boy has come forward. He says, I would render taxi according to the meter. Whatever the meter says, I will pay for it. He says that you give me, I will accept it. The young boy, he comes forward. Now it means the younger generation which is there, they are coming forward to help the passengers who are coming in the by train. They are here. I really appreciate. Really. Very much.
So what happened?
That's the one. He has agreed and he has been taking me. to my home. So I'm happy.
But they are very good people. Just like our
Some other people, some elements are always there, whether you are here in India or in America, wherever you go, the human tendency is such. When Adam and Eve was there, the Satan was also there. So there is, you can't help, that's all. That is the fact remains, that's all. Okay? Bye.
On Southern Railway, south of Madras, the Pondicherry Special makes her last journey. Nothing evokes the romance of the railway like a steam engine. Her arrival into Pondicherry Station is a grand event, and she will bring the platform to life for one last time. This is one of the few holdouts of steam. The locomotives were phased out of the big cities years ago, and now even small stations are seeing them vanish. But perhaps the greatest loss will be felt by those who have steam in their soul. And Don DePani is one who feel it the most. A third-generation railwayman, he became what his father, a gatekeeper, always hoped he would be, a driver, the pride of the line. Now he's been given the honor of taking the Pondicherry Special on her final run. Those who live along the track have grown accustomed to trains, but it's always a special occasion when a steam train goes by. His engine may be old and worn down by age, but Don DePani knows that what he is doing is something noble and historic. The gatemen will be among the last to witness the great steam engines on a full run. And as they close the gates behind them, they know that this is not just the passing of trains, but the passing of an era. Like a keeper of the rails, Cabin Master Machi has been directing trains for the past 31 years. He feels that the end of steam will leave his cabin like an empty house after the children have gone away.
হ্যালো এখানে ছাড়লো নাকি আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে
In India, the relationship between railway men has always been like family. The firemen, guards, cabin masters, and gatekeepers all have developed a deep bond through the years. Station masters on the single-line tracks and the drivers of steam know that a time is coming to an end. Now, the trading of the cane pouch marks the changing of the guard. Both Govindarajan and Dandapani have since been retired. The Pondicherry Special has been condemned. And Little Pallur Station is now closed forever. Varanasi, Madurai, Bardhaman. These are some of the sheds where generations of workers were born to serve the locomotive, with a craft held sacred. And where it was always believed that a father's knowledge would one day be handed down to his son.
We'll be closing down this steam loco shed in a couple of months when the last of these black booties will have moved out. This shed had something like 71 locomotives a few years back. What we feel sad about the whole thing is that something which fascinated every railway traveler over many years is dying out. The steam locomotive looks fascinating, it sounds fascinating, it breathes out a lot of fascinating things also. What fascinated everybody was that the locomotive was ever so visible, it had nothing to hide, it wasn't dressed up, what I feel personally sad about is that with the locomotive is dying out a breed of men who had nerves of steel. They were men of muscle, understood metal, what it was all about. What we get today in lieu is the diesels, the electrics, which have really no muscle in them. They're all technology, there is no spirit behind them. To us as old railwaymen, they are really not comparables. This shed, where the epitaph is now being written, will see a gloomy picture in a few months from now, and will lose ever so slightly a part of our past, something on which the railways all over the world have survived for the last 100+ years. With that, a lot of our soul will be gone.
Every day, more and more black beauties are being pulled from the working lines. The iron beasts are now easy prey to scavengers who will take even their last bits of precious coal. The once busy sheds are becoming graveyards. For loco foreman Mr. Aurora, returning is like visiting old friends.
See, this is the tragic part on my life. I was born and brought up with this steam locomotive. Now I feel as if I am left all alone and I am standing like a helpless man, can't do. But this is the demand from my nation. I feel as if a most loving member of my family is being cut into pieces. In my presence, an old man who is looking after the children, and he is standing. He cannot do anything for his children at this dying stage. Feel so bad. Really, I feel like weeping. I become helpless creature. But as I have told you, a day one has to die. Similarly, they have also to vanish one day or the other. The music, the everything, I know. I wish if this should be known to everybody. First of all, I'll let you know how the whistle sounds of a steam locomotive. Sounding of a whistle from a steam locomotive. This is from WP class locomotive. Now, when the driver opens the regulator, that time steam goes from the throttle valve, it comes to the valves, and from valve it goes to the cylinder. The sound, the music, the rhythmical music, the most beautiful music, the most unavailable music from any other source, I am just going to give that music to you if you like so, sir. Just the driver opens the regulator. That's all.
All across India, steam sheds have turned into auction houses. The locomotives await the highest bidder.
देखिए साहब से पूछिए
They are the businessmen who have waited for the sheds to close before making their move. They buy the engines, which are, to them, worth only their weight in scrap metal. Most of these men of steam will choose to stay with the railway. Some will have to be retrained, and others may have to relocate far from their homes. But for all, a way of life is over. There will be one survivor of steam, and by government ruling, it will remain. It is the Darjeeling Himalayan toy train, the oldest mountain railway in India. She is the symbol of the railway, and evokes the emotional and spiritual ties which the country has for its trains. The men who run her stand for the many who have devoted themselves to keeping the lifeline going. And for all those whose lives it touches, this will always be the great Indian Railway.